Alright, it's been a while since I made a video. I think the last video I made was when this engine first started and I actually drove it. But, when I was driving it, I noticed when I was going in, when I pushed down on the gas really hard, it started like bogging out, and couldn't understand why, because the carburetor is like completely, like really clean, and I think it was actually the valves floating. These valves are all nice and shiny now because I had to replace a lot of this stuff because this was right messed up. This valve spring was wrong. This valve spring right here was actually a valve spring out of like a push mower engine. So somebody was definitely in here before. This is when I first did it. This was before I did the head. That video, I filmed that before I replaced the cylinder head. So that's why it was kind of messing up. This is, so I fixed I fixed the valves. I got the correct valve springs in there. And I'm going to show you how to adjust the old valves. Get the camera in there without dropping it. So all you need is a feeler gauge, one of these little Allen head bolt wrench things, and a 10mm socket. So you want to make sure these are both pretty loose. What you do is you stick your feeler gauge in there. I don't know how you guys can see here. Just gonna slide the camera back this way a bit. There we go. So you can see how that's pretty loose. So you spin this until it tightens up, until it's snug. Let's see, right about there. That's a little too tight. Oh, there we go. So right there is where you want it. So what you do is you take your little thing here. Make sure this doesn't move. I'm going to have to redo that and that moved. Just gotta make sure that's good and snug. I don't have a wrench to hold this, so I'm just gonna hold it with my fingers. I'll check it again later. And then I got a little tight. This bottom ones are intake. The top ones are exhaust. So this is the intake. So its clearances for the intake valve should be 4 thousandths, and the exhaust should be about 6 thousandths. So right about there you want that. So I'm gonna hold the gauge in there, and I'm gonna get a little snug. There, just snug that little thing up, and then that's that. So you go to your exhaust valve now. So let me switch the gauges here, and that's pretty loose. You want to get this until it's good and snug. So that's right about there. So let's tighten this down like that, and that's it. That's all you do to adjust your valves. You gotta make sure these are good and tight, these little middle pieces. Don't over tighten them though, because you'll snap these little pieces in half. I've done that before. And that's basically it. So you spin your engine over, make sure you know it works good. Let's see. You're at compression, so the exhaust, and intake, and it's good to go. Seems to work pretty good. Of course, I don't have gas to start the motor back up because I had to set the camera on the battery's dead too. But that's basically all you do to adjust your valves. When you're done that, you put your your valve cover back on, 4 screws, and then you're good to go. But that's basically it, and I will post a video soon of this thing running in daylight because you can't really see in the last video, but bam.